How long you think it was gonna take before we got here? Now you gotta prove yourself all over again. Come on.
Ain't nobody coming out, been gunning from 100 yards, trying to hit my mark, missing every time. This will be the start of the picture perfect. Watch you.
Hello, Mr. Terry. Good day on this terrific trifecta Terry Tuesday. How are you off your root canal, my man?
Oh, not bad at all. Doesn't hurt. I'm fine. I do have to go in for another appointment, though, because they weren't completely done. But yeah, the worst part is you have to be so still in that darn chair for like an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine. I would have to probably help me go to sleep because I'm not one that has a lot of patience for that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, and it was a root canal it's actually a re-root canal because I'd had it done 50 years ago.
Oof.
And then they saw where the bone was receding, and then they thought there might be an infection, so I had to go in and clean it out. That's why it took so long. So,
well, you got back in time last night to check out a really good show. Trainer Jenna Antonucci. You might know her as the lady who was the first woman to win a Triple Crown race. Her name forever etched into the annals of history, Terry. Not very sharp-witted too. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I had a great time watching it. It's really fun. So yeah.
If you haven't had a chance to catch that right here on Horse Racing Radar TV, make sure you tune in for that. And then make sure you tune in tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. Another fantastic show with Jamie and Sean. We have on Matilda Burnham at 8 p.m. Matilda will be a young jockey who's trying to get the work done at Pleasanton. Terry, maybe out in your neck of the woods, maybe you can ask people to start coming to the fair circuit out there.
Yeah, I might do that. I'm hoping that what happens, Golden Gate Fields is closing. And in the past, they've talked about if it did, that maybe Pleasanton would pick up the race dates. And I'm hoping that's what happens because it's a pretty nice track out there. It's actually a very old track. So anyway, and look at these women jockeys. They're all beautiful. I can't imagine when they have long hair like that. How do they get that hair all up in the...
Well, maybe you can ask her. That would be a good question.
Yeah, would be.
Char Philly says, hey, gentlemen, let's get some prices today. I'm all off for getting some prices today. I wish I had that 2 to close out the late pick 4 yesterday, Terry. And the thing is, it was gettable because it was in our pace setup, it was the horse that had the most early pace, not necessarily in the simulation, but it did have like a 6 or 7 point advantage. So kind of sad that I didn't put that one in there as my 4th pick, considering I went 4 deep there on that last leg. Well, we'll try to get it today.
Well, yeah.
I have a pick 4 and a pick 5 today. So I'm going to try to get it for sure in those picks.
That's right. But you did have a pick 4 yesterday.
So. Yeah, I would have liked to get them both. Real quick, I'm going to bring this up a couple of times. Andre and Julie are part of the Horse Racing Today team. Andre, as many of you know, got injured in his race number 1, I think on the 15th at Churchill down at Charlestown. There is a GoFundMe link down in the description below. It's part of the community, part of the family. When these jockeys get hurt, that's their paycheck. So, and he was they brought home the bacon, so to speak, or the primary earner. So please head down to the description down below, $5, $10, $1, whatever it is you can offer to help Andre and Julie, help the team, help the community. We greatly appreciate any support that you can provide for Andre and Julie and their wonderful family.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
All right, so let's move on to race number 1 today, Terry, at Parx. So let's talk about the particulars in the first race at Parx today.
All right, it's a 6 furlong race. It's a $7,500 claiming race with a purse of $21,000. It's for 3-year-olds and 3-year-olds or fillies and mares. I don't know why it says or fillies or mares. 4 years old and upward, which have never won 2 races.
So at 6 furlongs, a profile of a winner, Terry, has tactical speed 37% of the time. Goes wire to wire, post positions 1 through 7, play fair, 8 and out. You get a little bit of a bonus. I know we got kind of dinged up with some scratches today late, which kind of probably altered the way we altered my bets today because I didn't really have time to go through all of them. There was a couple of things I had in mind. I definitely like the pick 5 at the back end. So I kind of started there. And when I got done with that, I didn't have a whole lot of money left. So in any case, we do simulations around here, 1,000 simulations using speed figures to get a sense of who might win the most frequently, and then convert those to odds. We're looking for simulation odds that are a little bit lower than the morning line odds. value seekers, as you might say, blue light special horse players. We also look using early pace numbers at who's going to be where at the quarter mile marker, the percent chance they have the lead. And then based upon that pace, who's likely to get a trip that they feel very comfortable with. Terry, what is the data telling you?
Well, there's 4 horses in there that show some speed, but the 7 shows the most speed, then followed up by that one who does have the benefit of the rail. And then as far as the overlay, the 1 has a nice overlay, supposed to be 4-5 on the simulated odds, and it's 7-2 on the morning line. And the 7 has a very small overlay, supposed to be just over 4-1 simulated odds, and it's 5-1 on the morning line. They all have pretty good C-zone numbers, except for the 3 and the 5.
Good morning, Christopher D'Souza. Good to see you. Good luck to you today as well. I'm sure you'll have some ideas that you want to share with us, Chris. So when you have some picks, put them up there on the screen. And like Christopher, if you like anything at Parx, any other track today, just some general thoughts about horse racing or any questions, just hit us up in the comment section. The more comments we get, the happier Google and YouTube are with us as far as their algorithms are concerned. Here we have the race shape setup, Terry. Nobody really wants to have the lead. There's not an E-horse in here. So there's not a pace setter, not a pilot. There's not a pilot co-pilot type, only a co-pilot with the 4 Queen Lucky. But if you look at the early speed numbers, that one's not necessarily going to be the one that's out in the front. That looks like it'll belong to Hip Hop Hooray. Who? Smarty Pants Sandy or Back to the Future. So some of those horses that are usually towards the back are going to move a little bit forward because there's a lack of early speed today. Not necessarily what I would call left arrow horses. Late speed, Queen Lucky. It's going to definitely be a part of the late pace, but probably too far off for the race early on to take advantage of only a 3-point advantage. The total pace figure, Hip Hop Hooray, scoring out as the top horse in there, Terry. Wouldn't be shocked if it gets to the front, stays towards the front, and maybe scores the W. How about you?
Yeah, I think with the scratches that we've seen in here that one is going to break out on top. So it was my first choice. Has won the last 2 races in a row and going for a hat trick, which is one of my favorite angles. Has the highest last race speed rating and has a high percentage winning trainer. 7 is my second choice, Back to the Future. She won last race at Parx Racing, switches to a high percentage winning trainer who wins 35% of the races when dropping a horse in class after claiming that horse, switches to high percentage winning jockey, and the trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days have been in the money 5 out of 6 starts, 3 wins, a second and a third. Number 2 is my third pick, Wicked Lady. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and she has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Smarty Pants Sandy is my long shot to 3. She has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to play a $1 daily double, the 127 with the 247.
Looks like Christopher D'Souza playing a C-zone trifecta here with the 1-4 and the 7. Good luck with that, Christopher. I like the 1 horse 2 in here, Terry, as my top choice. They're about to line up, so I'll go quick. Hip Hop Parade, top last race speed figure. Winner 2 in a row, making third start after layoff. Number 2, Wicked Lady. Paco Lopez riding on the class drop. Did run better numbers across the board last time out. 3 speed figure increases in a row. Alpha angled according to Barry Meadows. Back to the Future, maiden claiming win in the 10th try. Better 6 furlong times by about a second last time. Likes the distance, 6 times out, but likes second. Has 1 win, 4 seconds, no thirds. And finally, Smarty Pants Sandy showed a little bit of life last time out. Some improvement in the last. Gets a weight break today. Probably should have had the 4 in there with the higher C-zone and a chance to have that late pace. Just got a feeling it's going to be a little too far off the run there. So the first race is about ready to run in there, Terry. There we go, JT Brew, pick 5. I have one coming up too, JT. That's where I put most of my money today. So hopefully we both can score that pick 5. And this is race number 1 for you, JT. Mine's at the back end. So he likes the 1-3, the 2-4, 2-3-6-8, 4-6, 1-5, 8, and 9. So a lot of coverage there. So Misbehaving Lady, looks like they're off to a start there. I hear Jessica Paquette in my ear, so I'm going to tune her out. Right now, it looks like we have the 3 horse, confusing me. Smarty Pants Sandy taking to the lead, although on the outside of Smarty Pants Sandy is Back to the Future. Right now, 7-2. The 2 horse, which is your favorite, is behind the 3 horse at 7-2. The one horse just kind of got checked a little bit by the 3, so that might have screwed up the one horse's race completely there, Terry. The 2 horses trying to make up some ground as the 7-5. One of the favorites there at 7-5. The 7 horse still staying on the lead there. Back to the future. And then the 1 horse is going to go way wide. I think the 2 horse, the 7, I think probably has the 2 beat, Terry. It looks to me like it's going to come down to the 1 or the 7, or the 2 is trying to go down to the inside. The 1 horse, after being checked hard, is rallying hard. Going to run by the 7, it looks like to me, Terry. So it's going to go 1, and then the 7, and then it looks like you're going to get that 4 horse there for you. There you go, Christopher D'Souza. The 1-7-4 trifecta to start the day, and Christopher D'Souza with the 1-7-4 trifecta box. So good job on that one, Christopher. Hopefully you have a solid ROI with that 4 horse going off at 30-1. And there again, folks, you see that very strong C-zone score relative to everybody else coming in big, and that's probably going to boost that trifecta for you there. Boom. Right. Yep, you're off to a good start right there. No doubt your pick 5 is still alive. And good. Yeah, I like that. I'm happy that everybody started off a winner there, Terry.
Yep.
All right, except me, because I didn't bet anything. So, and I would have probably lost. So I didn't have the 4 in there. I should have. I created the C-zone score. I mean, I have to be a little bit more. I don't know what the word right. I'm not going to say trusting, because I do trust it. I factor into everything I do, but every now and then something else I let outweigh it. When I see a big differential like that, I got to stick to it, Terry.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to race number 2. In the race number 2, we have another 6 furlong race, or the first one of the day. Excuse me.
Well, it's 6 furlongs. It's a claiming race with a claiming price of $12,500. The purse is $23,000. It's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, and which have never won 3 races. So that's pretty simple.
So they've won 1 or 2 apparently. 6 furlongs does favor tactical speed again, as we saw in the first race there. 37% of the time they go wire to wire. Post positions fair 1 through 7. 8 and out get a little bit of a bonus. Terry, once again, let's take a look at the data and make sure we don't miss anything here on this one like we did on the first one. Terry, I think that 1 horse scratching was a difference maker. That might have been a single, but now it's on the sideline.
That's right. Well, the number 7 has the most speed. If you look there, it's got plenty of speed. So it should get there first to that quarter pole. There are no overlays that I can see in here. And most of these have good C-zone numbers except for the 3 and the 4.
How you doing, KJ Biker? Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it. Say hi if you haven't done so already in the comments. If you got picks, you got winning picks like JT Brew. And if you have a winning trifecta box like Christopher D'Souza, please put them in the comment section. We would appreciate that. Did they clean up that yet? Let's see. No, that's not official yet. I want to see what the score is, what the bounty is for our good friend Christopher D'Souza there, right?
Yep. Hey, hi from Turkey. Hi, B. Hick.
Nice to see you in Turkey. All over the world, Terry. We're like Pitbull, man. We're world famous.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. In race number 2, our race shape, pretty balanced, but when I see it like this, you got a 3 up front, 4 in the back. I'm probably going to look towards horses that are front-ish placed. 5 horses, a lone EP horse, so it could get a very good trip. Get the jump on the ones that want to be behind it, sit right behind the early speed, and capitalize if it has the late legs to do so. Coach has 6 aces. The PC horse does have the most early speed, as we saw in the simulation. Doesn't necessarily need to use that speed, so maybe can reserve a little bit for down the stretch. In the stretch run, Boss Like Beth does have the most late pace. And based upon the way this race looks in terms of early speed, I know it gets a red, but it's only a few points off the top green. Should get a really good trip, that 5 horse. And then as far as your total pace is concerned, this looks like a very competitive race, except for maybe the 8 horse Dune Jumper, but everybody else is in a tight window together there, Terry. Who do you like?
Well, I'm going to go with the kind of I think it's going to be a long shot, the 4 Surcharge. She comes in from Aqueduct to try Parx Racing, switches to high percentage winning trainer, who wins 23% of the races when dropping a horse down 2+ classes after claiming that horse. 7 is my second choice. Coach has 6 aces. She has a high percentage winning jockey, which is Paco Lopez, and she has a high percentage winning trainer, and the shorter distance can help. And then number 2 is my third pick, Wishing Ona Player. She has won 2 out of 3 career races. She appears to be able to lead or come from off the pace, which is another angle that I like. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then the 5, Boss Like Beth. She has the highest speed favorite today's distance, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 4 and the 7 with the 2, 3, 4, 6, with the 4, 6, 8, with the 3, 6, 7.
And then as far as JT says, again, he's got some long shots for us here today. Parx, race number 4, the 4, Celtic Treasure. Race number 5, Lord on High. Lord on High is going to go wire to wire with some good odds. We'll talk about what we think about those horses in a little bit. In race 2 for me, I don't have any bets in race 2, but I'm going to go with Coach Has 6 Aces. This one is my favorite type to bet on. Really, it's the all or nothing horse. One that either wins or doesn't do anything else. So Paco Lopez getting on board today tells me the trainer thinks he's got a good shot to be in the all column, not in the nothing column, and is running at the lowest level of its career. I think the one horse with all the other speed in this race scratching out is going to be the difference maker. Number 2, Wishing on a Prayer, lowest level in its career as well. And the only time the horse took a trip at 6 furlongs got the W. Number 4, Surge Charge, as you mentioned, Terry, class and track dropper, coming in out from, I think from New York, if I remember. But the June 14th work at Parx says that she likes the Ben Salem track. And then finally, number 5, you can't toss out the lone EP horse. Not going to be off the pace by very much. Does have the strongest late pace score and also dropping in class. So 7, 2, 4, and 5 for me in race number 2. Race number 3, Terry, we have some conditions and you're going to share them with us.
That's correct. It's a 6.5 furlong race. It's another claiming race, $7,500 claiming price. The purse is $23,000. It's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. And it's with who have never won 4 races. So they can win 3, but they can't have won 4.
No, they can win 1, 2, or 3. Back to race number 2 for Christopher D'Souza, who's hot. Starting off today. That opening trifecta in race number 1, his 174 box for 50 cents paid $27.35. So you have, what is that? 3 horses, 50 cents. That's $3. $3 into 27. Terry, in your favorite idiom, if you will, axiom, where else can you 9 times your money in minute in 10 seconds?
That's right.
All right, so we went through the particulars for race number 3. Let's take a look at what 6.5 furlongs profile of a winner looks like. Early speed, about 3 out of 10 horses take the lead and never give it up. There is a very strong inside 3 bias, so horses with the inside draw could do a little bit better. 4 through 7 get discounted. 8 and out, they return back to a fair post position draw. In race number 3, Terry, some inside speed. Looks like the fastest of them all on the outside, but there's plenty of speed. Anybody could really get the lead except for maybe the 3.
Yeah, most of them have the speed, like you said, but that 8 has the most speed on the outside and get a good break, and it can outbreak those horses and get to that quarter pole first. And then the 2 has an overlay, supposed to be like just almost even money, 4-1 on morning line. All of them have good C-zone numbers except for the 3 and the 2.
Yeah, the 3, and I have him as my top pick. He's all red, boom, 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 boom. But it looks like fair odds at least. But I have at least some thinking behind that. Hopefully it's the right thinking. Here again, we see a race that's kind of tilted to the favor of the horses that might be up in the front, the 3 and the 6, 2 pilot types. Everybody else wants to be middle back, so maybe the 3 and the 6 can get away with some reasonable early fractions. It does look like the 6 horse, Mazal 18, is the fastest of the fast ones by a pretty good margin, Terry. Kind of reminds me of that 2 horse yesterday in the closing race. Nice early edge, kind of a little bit ugly at the end of the race. Late speed belongs to the 2 horse, Twirling Wind. That is a closer. But a lot of folks in here are pretty similar, except for the 7 and the 6. Those 2 tail off a bit. The total pace, if you're a pace handicapper, 1, 2, 4, 8, 3, and 5, they're all in the same zip code. Only the 6 and 7 are a little bit outside of that range. Terry, who do you think is going to get the W here?
Yeah, I like that 4-horse, the Peyton's College. She has won 3 races out of the last 7 starts at Parx Racing, winning the last start. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance and a high percentage winning jockey. Number 3, Diadil So, is my second choice. Finished in the money in 6 out of the last 7 starts, winning 2 of those. Drops in class today and has a high percentage winning trainer. Twirling Wind, this number 2 horse, my third pick, finished third versus similar in her last race. Has an early speed running style and can improve at the shorter distance. And then I like that 6 Mazda 18. She ran second versus similar in her last race. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. She's actually tied with another horse, and she has a high percentage winning jockey who in the last 17 days have been in the money 7 out of 15 starts with 4 wins in 3 seconds. I'm not going to make a bet in this race.
I like the 3-horse. I know all zeros in there. Dia de Sol, dropping in class after coming in from Tampa Bay and Gulfstream Park. So also a little bit of a track dropper. Trainer Alfredo Velasquez, 30% second off the claim. I think cutting back from 6.5 furlongs might be the key here today. Cutting back to 6.5 furlongs because this one's been running routes and may actually be a sprinter. Number 4, Peyton's College, strong in the middle of the race. Big mid move last out. Parx 7 times out, 3 wins in a second. Everywhere else, the horse has tried 10 times, hasn't had a single win. Mazal 18, probably going to be your pace setter in here, Terry, or at least one of them. Best efforts come from when this horse is up front. Real strong C-zone score in there, too, if it gets on the lead. Not afraid to pull the cart. And then if it doesn't pull the cart, the Huey Lewis in the news horse, Power of Love. It's also going to try to set the early tone you see on a simulation, the most likely, but on the outside. I think with a little bit of early speed, teaming that up with Sofia Vives and a little bit of a weight break, could be the difference maker today there, too. I don't have any bets in race number 3 as well, Terry. I got my first one coming up in just a moment. So let's see how that works out. It looks like in race number 3, Mazal 18 for the win from our friends in Turkey. And then Christopher D'Souza likes the 6-horse with the 6, 1, and 8 exacta box. All right, Terry, let's go on to race number 4, where I will actually have, I'll allocate some of my budget today, my $100 budget, because that's what we do, $100 budget at the track. Tell us about the only race today at a mile.
That's right. It's a miles race, and it's a claiming $10,000 claiming price with the purse $27,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since April 18th. Claiming races for 8,000 or less are not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
And in this race, this is one of JT Brew's long shots of the day. Likes the 4-horse in here, which is Celtic Treasure, with Paco Lopez on board. So yeah, Paco, you know, he wins just about every race there at Parx. It feels like at times, no, Terry?
Yeah.
I mean, some days I think there was a day where he did win every race that he was in. In this race, Terry, a couple of scratches. Mississippi, Scoop Dog, one of our favorite names to say, going to be on the sidelines. At a mile on the main track, what you're looking for is early speed because 38% of the time horses go wire to wire. So look out for Semper Fidelis.
That's right. Look at that horse. That horse has so much early speed and very little competition, to tell you the truth. The 8 has a very large overlay. It's supposed to be like 3 to 5, 4 to 5, and it's listed at 4 to 1 on the morning line. The 6 and the 5 have the best C-zone numbers.
Yeah, and that 3-horse, too, also could benefit from an inside-out bias. Fortunately for the horses on the outside, nobody getting to 8 or out because 8 and out had a big penalty, but there's only 6 horses in this race. And those 6 horses in race number 4, the pace scenario, you see here that the 6 is, he wants to be on the lead. So Hidden Promise looks like he has a shot to be on the lead, but just marginally better than a couple of other horses in here. The 3-horse, Semper Fidelis, the one that we saw in the simulations, that one could get the lead, which would highly discourage Hidden Promise in my view. Looking at the late speed, Screensaver, look at that, 7-point advantage over everybody else as a PC type. Not going to be all that far off the pace here, Terry. Only 8 points, so maybe a length off the leaders in there. That's about a length, maybe a length and a quarter extra late pace over everybody else. So if the 8 horses within a length of everybody at the quarter-mile marker, probably has a good shot to run by him at the end as your top total pace horse, Terry. What do you think the 8's going to do? You got it going to win too, right?
Yeah, I like the Screensaver. It's won the last 2 races in a row, going for a hat trick at Parx Racing. Has a high percentage winning trainer, Jamie Ness, and the high percentage winning jockey, Ruben Silveira. Then I like the 6, Hidden Promise. He takes a large drop in class today and has a high percentage winning trainer. 4, Celtic Treasure, my third pick, has won 4 races at Parx Racing and switches to high percentage winning jockey. The 5 is my long shot, Emperor's Cause. He has won the last 3 races at Parx Racing and has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick for me. Use the 4-6-8 with the 3-6-7 with the 4-9, and then finish it up with the 6, 7, and 8.
Christopher D'Souza coming in with the 4-horse here. He likes that one as your closer. Back to race number 3. Hassan likes the 3-horse to win. So you got the 3 and the 4 in races 3 and 4. Easy to remember that, Terry, right?
That's right.
In race number 4, I have Screensaver as my top pick. I'm going to single him in my pick 4, Terry, because I've seen this story before. He ran the top last race speed figure by a pretty decent margin. Means everybody else has to come up or that one has to come down. It is an EP horse, as we saw, versus horses that want to be on the front or come back from the back. So should be properly positioned. Has a very aggressive late pace advantage against this group. If he is close, if he's within a length coming out of that turn into the stretch, they're going to be really hard to hold that one off. Emperor's Cause, the 5-horse, did win 3 in a row. Likes Parx, 7 times out, 3 wins, 2 seconds. And last time out, ran 1 mile, about 1 second faster than the prior time he ran a mile. Celtic Treasure, our good friends, JT Bruce, long shot here. Tough call for me over the 6-horse, but I'm going to take Paco and the horse that's done better at the distance. And finally, the 6-horse, morning line favorite in here, Terry, but really looks vulnerable to me. So I probably just put him in the winner's circle and screwed up my pick 4. I'm singling the 8. So I think it's going to come out of that turn well positioned, has that pretty aggressive late pace advantage over everybody else. And then 5, 7, 8, 5, 6, 9. And then I'm going to close it out with 5 horses because I'm sick and tired of losing on that last leg to my 5th horse, Terry.
All right.
Oh, you find that funny, huh?
Well, it happens to me all the time. So,
all right. So say funny like Joe Pesci funny or just funny? All right. In race number 5, Terry, we got a bunch of babies. And what are they going to do?
Yeah, these babies, they're going to be 4.5 furlongs. It's a maiden race with 45K. The purse is $45,000, and it's for registered Pennsylvania bred maidens, 2-year-olds.
And again, a bunch of first-time starters, no data, no nothing, Terry. Just pen and paper, intuition, old man handicapping, a little bit of luck, a little bit of hope. What do you got?
Okay, I like the 3. Man, Take the Blessings. He has finished in the money in his 2 career races at Parx Racing and finished 3rd versus similar in his last race. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 7, Lost and Confused. He is a first-time starter. Has a high percentage.
And I think he'll be back next week, right? He's done with vacation next week.
Who's that? Lost and Confused? Yeah. He should be back next Wednesday. So
next Wednesday, all right.
Anyway, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and the trainer-jockey combination the last 14 days. They've been in the money 9 out of 16 starts, 4 wins, 3 seconds, 2/3, and a good workout on July 12th. We got the Barnyard. The 6 is my 3rd pick. He is a first-time starter whose dam has 4 winners from 4 starters and has a nice bullet workout on July 5th. Clancy O'Toole, the 5 is my long shot. He is also a first-time starter, has a high percentage winning trainer and a bullet workout on July 5th. No bet for me in this race.
So Isaac, in the first race at Parx, the 1-horse won, and then the 7-horse came second. 4-horse came in third. And if you paid attention to Christopher D'Souza, or you just did our top 3 horses for the C-Zone score and boxed them, you would have turned a $3 trifecta box, which our good friend Christopher D'Souza played, into $27. Not bad. I'll take that all day long. It puts you ahead for the day. Now you just go ahead and bet with the house money for the rest of the day. In race number 5, I'm going to go with the 8-horse, Terry, as my top pick. Whiskey Romeo Sierra. Top pedigree in the field, and the July 5th workout of 3 furlongs in 35 and 2 is pretty fast. Number 7, the Big Boopa, Lost and Confused. You got Jamie Ness, Ruben Silveira, that potent combination there. And that last workout at Parx was probably the strongest of all the first-time starters in here. Number 5, Clancy O'Toole. It was tough between the 5 and the 6 because the 5 and the 6 are both trainer Daniel Velasquez horses, who's kind of light and winning the maiden special weight debut races. I felt like the 5 was a little bit better than the 6, but they're either 1 or 1A. You can take your choice there. I went with the 5 horse because the bullet and go workout and a little bit better workout pattern than the 6 horse. And then the 3 horse, the one Terry you have on top, Man Takes the Blessings, has 2 chances to win too far. Missed by a neck in the opener, kind of regressed a little bit in its second career start. Sometimes horses, they get a little tired-legged maybe in the second race. They rebound in race number 3, or they really fall off in race number 3. I downgraded it from the other first-time starters because it's had 2 chances to win already and didn't get the job done. So maybe one of the first-time starters does in here. Race number 6, Terry, as we get away from the babies, we get to horses with a little bit of an experience. It's supposed to be a mile and a 16th on the turf, but the turf is off. Otherwise, all the conditions remain the same.
That's right. It's an allowance race, 50,000 per 50,000 for registered Pennsylvania-bred fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won a Pennsylvania restricted race other than a maiden race, claiming or starter race.
So going back, Christopher D'Souza to race number 5, he says he likes the 5 horse indeed for the bullet and go. To me, again, it was tough between the 5 and the 6 because if you look, I think they worked in tandem in here because they're both Daniel Velasquez horses in here. So you see Parx July 5th, Parx July 5th. They both ran a 103 and first out of 10. So I think they work side by side. Looking at it, the 5 horse does have a little bit better pedigree score on a fast, but not by much, than the 6 horse in here. So it's a real tough call for me between those two. I went with the one I felt like just had a better series of workouts. And I felt like that was the 5 horse, not the 6 horse, but we'll find out which one gets it done. All right, Terry, in race number 6, we go back to the conditions. I think they're probably going to run by about a mile and 70 yards. I don't have a mile and 16th exact profile of a winner, but I suspect it'll somewhat mirror a mile and 70 yards, which does favor early speed, does tend to favor horses that get to the lead because 30% of the time they go wire to wire. There's a little bit of a rail bonus. 2 through 7 play fair, 8 and out, a little bit of a penalty, Terry. 2 scratches, so only the 9 horse gets that maybe penalty zone. What do you like in race number 6?
Well, first of all, let me tell you that the 9 horse is got all the speed, so they'll be chasing the chaser. Mm-hmm. And then there's no overlays in here. And then the 2 and the 3 have the best C zones, but most of them have some good C zones, except for maybe. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 and 3 don't. Most of them, except for the 2 and 3, have good C zones.
A lot of green there, minus those. I think pace shape here could be interesting in race number 6 because look, everybody 2, 4, 5, 7, 9. Most of the field wants to close. That 6 horse, Linda Loves Gold, wants to get to the front. Going to get to the front. Only going to have a little bit of a problem maybe in here with a little bit of chasing from Dream Chaser. Those 2 really should clear the field. Dream Chaser then getting that left arrow designation, a horse that normally wants to close. It's going to move forward. I think the switch from turf to dirt is going to help the speed horses. You know, on dirt, they're probably on the turf, probably hoping to close. And that's why you see so many closers in here. Late speed, if they do close, a case for you, Vanilla Bean, Girl from Outer Space. I think Vanilla Bean sent scratched here.
Yes, it has been. Yes, and I didn't get there to get it. So
that's okay. We can do that now. So we'll take that one out. So Vanilla Bean not in the race today, Terry. So we don't have to worry about that one. So just looking at the terms of the pace, does look like when we look at the early speed, late speed combination for total pace, Linda Loves Gold, Girl from Outer Space. So those horses that are in front of the closers, they have the pace advantage. I think the flip to turf to dirt does give the speed a little bit of an edge, Terry. So I think that's how you played it out.
Yeah, I like the 9 Dream Chaser. She finished 3rd on the dirt in her last race, and her breeding and she's got a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And this race for me really changed with all the scratches. Number 4, A Case of You is my second pick. She's finished 3rd in her last race on the dirt. and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 6, Linda Loves Gold. She's my third pick. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then Ginger's Wish has a win at Parx Racing. No bet for me in this race again.
So in the fifth race, it looks like Namchi says Risky Romeo Sierra wins if the last gallop is correct. In race number 6, Christopher D'Souza trying to screw up my pick 5. Thank you, sir. But he likes the one with the 1, 4, and 6, the one to win with that strong overlay in there. And then I'm not sure what you mean by Castle in this one. What do you mean by Castle, Landers? If you could put that into the comments so that we can answer that question accordingly. I like the 6 horse in your tier. I think the race changes when they go from turf to dirt, as I mentioned. Linda Loves Gold, gonna be out front, gonna likely be better in the second up after a layoff. It does have a maintenance work to keep the sharpness for race number 2 off the bench. Dream Chaser is that left arrow horse. You have Paco Lopez again. You got to bet Paco at Parx. If the 6 isn't on the front, the 9 is going to be on the front. It's fared well on a fast track, going 6 times with a win, a couple seconds in the third. Carto Luck, the 5 horse, has a good chance to be better in a third start off a layoff. First 2 at Parx were uninspiring, to say the least. But if you look at that back class at Gulfstream Park, if you can find any of it, could be the class horse in this field. And then finally, the 4 horse, A Case of You, is one that should improve in its second start after a layoff. I'm going to do a pick 5, 5, 6, 9 over the 1, 6, 7, over the 11, 14, over the 1, 6, 7, and then the 8 and 9 to close it out. How long do we have to race number 2, Terry?
Going to go off right now.
All right, so race number 2. Let's rewind back to race number 2. Terry has a pick 4, starting with the 4 and the 7. The 7 is indeed your favorite right now at 6-5. The 4 horse is 3-1. The 2 horse 9-2. The 6 horse coming in at 6-1. The 3 horse 7-1. The only one that's the 5 horse is 11-1, and then the 8 horse at 50-1. It does have a strong C-zone score, so maybe you might put that 8 horse in there as a place or show bet, because at 50-1, if it hits, you're going to get paid, right?
That's right.
99-1 sim odds, though, Terry. So it's probably not the case. The 7 horse is the one that we expect should get the lead, although everybody but the 4 does show some ability to be forwardly placed. Let's see how race number 2 breaks, and we'll tell you what we think is going to happen as the race progresses. I'll do my best race call possible.
All right. Well, the 7 giving them some problems.
Yeah, so maybe he ain't going to get out of the gate as fast as people like, right?
That might be right, yeah.
So while the 7 gets in there, Terry, let's talk a little bit again. I promised I'd bring this up again. In the description below, our good friend Julie Ramjeet, her husband, got injured on September the 15th as his horse took a bad step or maybe clipped heels. And he's in the hospital. He's going to be there for a while. It did some injuries to his spine. In the description below here at YouTube, as well as you'll find links on our Facebook, Twitter, everywhere we are. Please make sure you head on over there. $5, $10, whatever you can give. We appreciate it. It is a community, and we certainly want to help our family members to the best as possible. We wish Julie and Andre and their family nothing but a speedy recovery. And they're off, Terry. And as we thought, a lot of horses with a chance to get to the lead. And the 7 horse, the one that, that's the 8 horse, didn't break well. So the 4 horse, Surcharge, took charge with the 7 horse. Coach has 6 aces right to the outside on the rail. You have Wishing on a Prayer. 3 horse trying to split in between. So you got basically 4 wide. I think it's going to make it difficult for the 7 horse to be 4 wide to live up to that 1-to-1 status, but you never know. 3 horses backing out a little bit. Debbie's surprise. So now you have the 2 on the lead with the 7 taking a passing of the 4 right now. So you got the 2 at 22 and 3. The 7, I guess I may have been wrong there, being 4 wide. Didn't stay that far that long. Those 2 are out in front of everybody else. Right now, looks like you have the 3 horse in there. Debbie's surprise trying to get into the money. The 7 horse has taken command of the race as your 1-to-1 favorite. 4 horse is kind of running cockeyed all over the track right now, but the jockey does seem to have gotten him straightened out, although he's still looking to the inside, which allowed the 3 horse to go by. So the 7 horse is your easy winner, Terry, followed by the 3 horse who closed in for second. And then the 5 horse just noses the 2 at the wire. So 7, 3, 5, and 2. 7, 3, 5, 2 there, Terry.
All right.
In race number 2. So that gets you your double, right?
It does, yeah.
And I think it probably keeps JT alive in his pick 5. Let's see.
I'm alive in my pick 4 too.
Let's see. He had he didn't have the 7 in the second leg there.
Oh.
Well, it's all right. We'll go back and hit the late pick 5 in here too, is what we'll do, right?
Yep.
Race number, let's see. Which one has a castle? Race 6, Raphael Sachel says the 1 horse is going to win in race number 6, which is Girl from Outer Space. I don't think it should be girl, to be honest with you, Terry. I think it should be plural. Yes, number 7, no 7. Yeah, we kind of went back and looked at that. All right, well, let's see what we can do going forward. Race 2 winner, the 7-horse run, Hazraz Patel, very easily got out to the front and didn't really, kind of ran second. I was kind of shocked, really, being 4 wide early on, that he was able to go through like that. But just clearly, when the race is over, the class horse of the field, I think that's what you saw there.
Yeah.
All right, race number 7, Terry, is another one of these baby races, 4.5 furlong types.
Yep, 4.5 furlongs, maiden 45K, purse 45,000. They're for maidens, fillies, 2-year-olds.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And again, at 4.5 furlongs, what you want to see is a horse in the 7 races so far that they've had. They'll have 8 of them by the time we get here, but 4 of the 7 so far have gone wire to wire. Post position 2 and 3 produced 2 winners. Post positions 4 through 7, the other 5, Terry. So it looks like maybe you want a little bit of speed. Probably don't want to be on the rail in race number 7. We don't have any idea who's going to do what. Just past performance, workouts, intuition, pedigree, trainers, jockeys, all that kind of old-fashioned handicapping. And with that old-fashioned handicapping, somehow we landed on the first 3 to be the same.
Yeah, 8 is my first pick as well as yours. Still the deal. She is a first-time starter whose dam has 2 winners from 2 starters. One of them was a stakes winner. Has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Number 7, Velvet Vixen. The 7 is a first-time starter as well. Her dam has 3 winners from 5 starters, and she has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 21% of the time that he brings out a first-time starter. The 6 is my third pick. She as well as a first-time starter, and her dam wins 5 winners from 6 starters. Her sire has 18% win of the races with the first-time starters. Wild Creation is by long shot the 4. Another first-time starter who finished 6th. She's not a first-time starter. She finished 6th in her debut after taking up on the far turn and has a bullet workout on July 11th.
I agree with your first 3, Terry. 8, steal the deal. June 16th workout, 4 furlongs, 48 and 2. Pretty strong workout there. Trainer Robert Reed scores at the highest rate for these in the debuting at maiden special weight, 24% of the time. Right behind that with the 7 horse is trainer Cathal Lynch, wins at 22% first time around the track on the maiden special weight. Good work pattern getting ready for the 7, Velvet Vixen. Villanope, top pedigree, some steady works for that 6 horse in there. And then finally, the 1 horse, My Girl's a Bomb. There you go. There's a nice compliment. This one's June 3rd work, 3 furlongs in 35 and 3. Probably fast enough to be a part of the early speed early on. I was a little bit concerned about that rail post, but heck, at 10 to 1, I'll take a shot of a horse that has a chance to get to the lead. 2-year-olds, you don't know what's going to happen, so you might as well get a little bit of a price. I don't have any bets in here, Terry, but I do think I have all 4 in my pick 5 in here. No,
yeah,
I do.
I do have a bet. I have a pick 4, and in my pick 4, I'm going to use the 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Single the 14th, then single the 7th, and then finish up with the 8 and the 9.
All right, let's go off to race number 8, where as you can see right now, Terry, there are a deluge of scratches because it was 5 furlongs on the turf, but it's been since called off the turf and moved to dirt.
That's right. And they've been doing that a lot, I guess, because of the rain that's been happening. But anyway, 5 furlongs, it's optional claiming of 16,000. Purse is 55,000. It's for 3-year-olds up and upward, which have never won a race other than a maiden claiming or starter or state bred, or which have never won 2 races or claiming race of 16,000.
And then at 5 furlongs on the turf, I don't have any dirt numbers in there, Terry, so I don't know what the profile of a winner is. I tried to find one, but couldn't find one recently. So all the scratches, I think there's only 4 horses left in this race, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
maybe
that's
5.
correct. Yeah, it's correct.
So I think the 8 horse scratched. Is that right? Did you have one scratch too?
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
No, the 8 horses. I think the 8 horses still in there.
What race is this? Race number 8.
It's number 8. Yeah. So let me
Yeah, I
go.
think let's see. Race number 8. I think at the
Oh,
end,
the 8 did scratch. So
the
there
8 did scratch. Yeah,
8 scratched. So I'm not.
I think there's only thing is left is the 6, Terry. So I'll go back and change it for you in race number 8.
Okay.
So there's only 4 horses left in there. So
That's right.
it's you can only rank them so many different ways, Terry. Looking at the data here for race number 8, you'll see that it looks like the 11 horse is the one that's really fast.
Yeah, and that's right. The 11. Well, the 14 has a little bit of speed too, but anyway, the 14 has a nice overlay. It's supposed to be like 3 to 5, and it's listed 4 to 1 on the morning line. And then all of them that are left have pretty good C-zone numbers. So,
yeah, the scratches on this one really changing everything up pretty dramatically, I feel like, Terry. So if we take a look again at the pace for 4 horses, really, I mean, I don't really put a whole lot of effort and emphasis on this stuff because when you have a short field like this, I think the 12 horses out too. So neither one of these are in there. So when you have short fields like this, it really doesn't really matter because a lot of times the pace in there is going to be get to the front, get your W. That's usually how it plays out. The 11 horse is going to get to the front. You know, it's going to have a little bit of competition from the 6, maybe the 14. They'll sit right off the pace there. But I think the big tell in this race, Terry, and it might be one of the reasons why you have it as a solo when you're pick 4. So when you look at the total pace, this one has a 14-point advantage over the 6 horse O'Brien. I think with the EP style of running, it's probably just going to sit behind, let the other ones up front go, and then just say, okay, see you later coming down the stretch. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Let me look at my sheet here. It's I got the 14, and I think it's going to go to the front. Steely Danza ran second versus similar in his last race. He can either lead or come from off the pace, so he's very versatile that way. Has a highest speed figure at today's distance. Switches to high percentage winning jockey, and then the 11 Fox Red. He has an early foot, has the highest last speed rating. Switches to high percentage winning jockey. I like this 7 as my next one. Turf Constitution, I guess is the name of it.
Tough Constitution?
Yeah, tough. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He has a high percentage winning jockey. And then I'm following up with the 6. I have no comments on the 6. So.
Yeah, that's all that's left, right? It's the 6 horse. There's really no need for comments. I think it's going to basically be a 2-horse race, although Christopher D'Souza disagrees. He likes the 7, Tough Constitution in there with that. Strong C-zone score. I think in the 4-horse race, though, quite honestly, I think they'll all probably get trips that they're pretty comfortable with. The 14 horse with that huge total pace advantage, going to be tough to beat as the lone EP. I think it sits behind the 2 horses that go out to the front and then just runs by him at the end. If it can run back just 2 races, that speed figure there would make a mockery of this run. But if not, I think the 11 horse Fox Red got to make its 3rd start after a layoff. Was late, better in the later part of its last race, but going to be your pace setter today. So improved late pace, good early speed. You're going to put Paco on board there. 2 consecutive speed figure increases in a row, and basically ran the same race as the 11 did last time out because they both, the 14 is they both tied with the same speed figure. Tough Constitution, Christopher's top pick there on the fast track, 4 times out, a win, a 2nd and a 3rd. Coming off a race that was a lot better than it looks, similar times, both on turf, at 1 mile and 70 yards as he ran on 6 furlongs. And then 6, O'Brien is the only horse that's left. We've badmouthed O'Brien a lot, so we probably just put it in the winner's circle, Terry.
Yeah, and I've got a bet here. I'm going to bet the $2 daily double 14 with the 7 and $6 to win on the 14.
And then race number 9, as we got 2 to go, Mr. Terry, we're not going to be overwhelmed with scratches in race number 9, but we are going to run 6.5 furlongs.
That's right. And it's for allowance race of 60,000 per 60,000. It's for fillies and mares 3 years old and upward.
And that 6.5 furlongs, we can once again take a gander at what a winner typically looks like. Early speed, you want your horses forwardly placed. 31% of the time, they go wire to wire. You get the inside 3 bias, so Sweet Wilhelmina could on that rail get an advantage there. 4 through 7, a little bit of a discount to 8 and out. They play fair again. Looks like inside speed, Terry, in race number 9 could be the ticket to the winner's circle, and Nurturing has some of that on the inside, but looks like plenty of them are going to try.
Yeah, that's right. Most of them, like you say, have speed, and the one that shows the most is the 5, but I think they're all going to be trying for that lead. And then the overlay is the 7. It's supposed to be like 6-5, and it's morning line 3-1. They all have good Z zones except for that 3.
Yeah, and also a little bit of an overlay on early edition. With all that early speed, this race could set up, Terry, potentially for a closer. You look here, look, everybody wants to be middle forward. You do not have a traditional closer in here. You have a Lone P, the Sesame Street horse. Which one here doesn't look like the other? Center Court Champ. So I do think you're going to see plenty of juice out of the gate. You got a bunch of horses up here with some pretty high numbers. Even Sweet Wilmelia and Marvelous aren't that far off the early speed. When you look at the late comers, Sweet Wilmelia does have the most. Sweet Wilmenia has the most late piece, tied with Marvelous. That's your Billy Crystal horse in there. Total pace, again, I think a pretty tight race in here from top to bottom, but a couple of them that are a little bit above that, everybody else. 7, 6, 5, 4, a little bit better than the 1 and the 8 and the 3. Maybe Nurturing a little bit out of class here, but then again, not that far off that it can't pull off the upset, Terry. I think a pretty competitive race in this one. What do you like?
Yeah, that's true. Number 7 is my top pick, though, Bourbon Bombay. She's undefeated in 4 career drops in class today and has a trainer wins 35% of the races after winning its last race and been off 7 months, but been working for this to start this race. And then number 1, Sweet Wilhelmina, as my second choice. She finished 3rd versus Tougher in her last race, drops in class. The rail post is winning 18% clip. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. The 8 is my 3rd choice, early edition. She won 3 races in a row and then tried the turf with the disappointing results. Now she returns to the dirt and to a sprint where she seems to like better. And then the 5, Century Court Champ. She loves being the bridesmaid, finishing 2nd in 5 out of 7 races in 2023. And she has the highest speed figure at today's distance. No bets for me in this race.
Christopher D'Souza, the 9 horse, the 1 horse, Sweet Wilminia to win with the 187 box. I'm going to go with the 6 horse, Terry. I just about singled this guy in my pick 4s and pick 5s. Olivia Darling is going to, it is a track and class dropper. And if you look at the races, this horse puts up some blazing mid-pace numbers. Let's go over here and look at this 6 horse, these mid-pace numbers. So you got Paco on here coming in from Pimlico, Tampa. Churchill, been running in a couple of non-graded stakes, but look at these mid-pace numbers, 102, 101, 104, 100, 96. This horse is going to hit that turn and hit the jets, Terry. That's what's going to happen there. And when it hits those jets with Paco on board, he's got good timing in his head, knows where that finish line is at Parx. Number 1, Sweet Wilhelmina, winner 9 out of 15 races at Parx, Terry, down from non-graded stakes levels. And then ran faster fractions in its last effort and also gets the benefit of that inside bias, which is why I rated it slightly above Bourbon Bombay. As you mentioned, the horse is unbeaten in 4. You did comment that the horse is coming off a break. Every single one of its races has come after a layoff. And the only other time it had a similar layoff as today, it won that race too, I guess. And I think 3 out of 3 of them were at the distance. So loves the distance, loves to win, loves layoffs. 7 horse, those top 3 horses, I think, are the ones to beat. Center Court Champ was a tough call over early edition for me. But if you look at the Parx resume, you look at the distant resume, Center Court Champ has a little bit better across the board than the 8 horse early edition. Got no bets for me, Terry, because I'm out of money. I only made 2 bets today.
That's
pick
right.
4 and a pick 5. Before we go on to the closer, race number 10, a couple of things again. If you kindly can help Julie and Andre, there is a link for the GoFundMe page. Andre being injured on July the 15th. Is it July the 15th? June? I don't know. Yeah, the 15th.
Yeah, July.
God, the months go by fast.
Yeah.
We certainly greatly appreciate your support, and you're helping the Horse Racing Today family. And then also down in the description below, you'll see free picks today for guaranteed tip sheet. It is Presque Isle Downs. Again, yesterday I mentioned I thought we could have a pretty good day at Thistle Downs, and the potential winnings over there paid out $2,333.60. at Thistle Downs yesterday. Again, another track today at Presque Isle Downs where I felt like going through the card. It was one where we could find some nice winners. Free picks, description down below here on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And if people want to follow us on all of our social stuff, including Threads now, Terry, how do they do that?
Well, go to YouTube, first of all, and subscribe. Of course, you're already there if you're watching us right now, but hit that little bell so that you're notified about this, and go down and share this, copy the link and send it to all your people that you know. If you go to Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and
Threads.
At Horse Race, the number 2 day, give us likes and thumbs up. It helps us with algorithms, helps us to do more things for you folks. So
yeah, again, if you go to YouTube, you'll see there's a share link right on there. Hit that share link, take that link. If you like what you see, you got friends who play Parx or any of the tracks that we cover. Tomorrow we'll be covering Horseshoe Indianapolis. Of course, on Thursday, the Spa, Toga. Terry and I will be doing Toga. Share those picks with your friends, man. Last week I was bummed that I missed that late pick 4. All right, Terry, let's hope I don't miss the late pick 5 in that last leg, because the last 2 times I lost the pick 4, I lost on the last leg. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do a pick 5 to break that streak. It's a 1 mile, 70-yarder. What are the conditions?
It's a claiming race, a $5,000 claiming price with a purse of $18,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won 2 races since January 18th.
And the profile of a mile 70-yard winner at Ben Salem Track is a one that, again, early speed. You got it. You got a good shot at Parx. 3 out of 10 times they'll go wire to wire. Call Fitzroy on the rail does get a little bit of a rail advantage. 2 through 7 play fair, 8 and out. Terry, a little bit of a penalty. In the final race, we do have 9-horse field, so maybe a couple on the outside could be penalized. But all the speed's out there too.
Yeah, 10 has most speed, but 9, 5, and 7 also show some speed. The 8 is it's a pretty nice overlay. It's supposed to be 6-5, and it's listed 5-2 in the morning line. The 9-horse is a little better overlay. It's 6-5, and it's listed at 9-2 in the morning line. The 10, 2, 7, and 8 have the best C-zone numbers.
All right. And then for the last time on this terrific Terry Tuesday, for those of you that like to do pace handicapping, Terry, there's the Sesame Street horse stands out to me here, the 5-horse. Abuelo Nuno being the lone piece, sandwiched between 4 that want to be on the front and 4 that want to close. So if the 5-horse can be 3rd, 4th, might have a shot as that lone P. Excursion does have the most early speed along with Social Group and Playman, at least from a recency standpoint. They score about 6 points better than the next horse. So that 3 should be on the front. The 8-horse in here being a left arrow variety, one that typically likes to close. And then because of the normal pace that everybody else has here, will be more forwardly placed than usual. We'll have a shot to take advantage of those late legs in there too, because Social Group and Excursion, those 2 up front, also have some of the best late run. Scotty should join them, but look at how far off that one's likely to be. So only maybe a half a length advantage over the rest of them, but could be maybe 2-3 lengths off the front at the quarter-mile marker, maybe a little too much to make up for Scotty. And then as far as your total pace, Social Group and Excursion, they rank aggressively higher than everybody else in there. So according to total pace, Terry, it's a 2-horse race. I think it's a 2-horse race. That's why I ended my pick 5 of 2 horses. Hopefully I'm right.
Yeah, hopefully you are, because I like the 8 Excursion. He's always in the mix, finishing the money in his last 5 races, drops in class today. As a trainer, wins 40% of the races when dropping a horse down 2+ classes. Number 9, Social Group's my second choice, drops in class today. His early speed running style helps his chances, and he should improve while returning to a route. Super Dude, the 7, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. My 3rd pick, my long shots, the 2, Scotty, is returning to a route, which may help, and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. No bet for me in this race.
And a pretty good C-zone score there for Scotty, too. But I think I may be a little too far off the pace, though, Terry, to get the W today. But you never know. To close it out, as I mentioned, I thought 2-horse race, 8 Excursion, dropping in class. Just missed at this level two ago, Terry, and missed to the 9-horse. Social Group actually beat Excursion 2 races back. Going to chase the pace at the start with the Excursion. All the speed is outside. It's a little bit of a concern for me. But as I mentioned, did beat the top pick. The one that scares me at the back end of our pick 5 is the 7, Super Dude. class dropper, weight break, cut back in distance. All those 3 things could help Super Dude. And then finally, Abuelo Nuno. I can't ignore the Lone P, Terry. I've seen way too many times those horses score, no matter how they look like on paper. Going back to a route today should be helpful. And if you look through the past performances, has a lot of back class. No bets for me, no bets for you, as we both allocated all of our dollars today. Here are our first all picks for every single race. In race number 1, I think the 7-horse won in the breeze. In race number 2, the 7-horse won in the breeze. So looks like you should just play the 7s all day today, Terry.
Yeah, that could be the thing to do.
Could be the thing to do.
Yeah, in a lot of these contests, I see people do that all the time. They just pick one number, play them across the board. So.
Which kind of frustrates me when those people win, right? Because that's not handicapping.
It's not.
I don't know what you call that. Again, tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, another fantastic guest joining Sean and Julie. We're going to have on jockey Matilda Burnham. That at 8 p.m. Eastern. Another great show for Sean and Jamie, introducing you to somebody you might not be familiar with. But if you have any questions for Matilda, please tune in at 8 p.m. Terry, unfortunately, can't ask her to come out to Golden Gate Fields anymore. Again, one final time. In the description down below, there is a link to the GoFundMe page for Andre Ramjeet, husband of Julie Jacobs, co-host with Sean on Horse Center on alternating weeks. We'd kindly appreciate your support for the family. It goes to a good cause, a good family, and people who need help right now. Terry, that wraps it up for today. Again, tomorrow you and I will be back to discuss Horseshoe Indianapolis. We'll do Saratoga on Thursday. Don't have a Foreign Friday for the next couple of weeks because Tom is road tripping for the summer. And then we'll be back, you and I, Monday, Tuesday again. Same routine, except on Wednesday, the Big Boopa, or Dazed and Confused, otherwise known as Charles, will return. We'll do Saratoga probably Wednesday and Thursday of next week. One final thing, it is a wagering guide week, a huge set of races this weekend out at Monmouth Park, capped off by the Haskell, a $1 million race, going to attract a pretty good field. We'll fill you in on the details, might have a little bit of surprise for you in regards to that wagering guide. All right, Terry, that does wrap it up. Any final thoughts from you today?
Yeah, I just want to say that Christopher D'Souza in race 10 likes the 2 to win. He likes the 2-10-8 exacta box. Other than that, please stay cool and give your loved ones a kiss and a hug, and hope you all do well the rest of the week. So
yeah, we certainly hope that you have a fantastic, terrific Terry Tuesday as always. Andre, Julie, and your family, we certainly hope God's grace, God's favor, and God's speed comes to the healing process. No matter what you're doing for the rest of this day today, we certainly hope that you, your family, your friends, your picks, your job, everything, your career, your schoolwork, no matter what it is you're doing, Terry, today on this terrific Terry Tuesday, it can end up in only one place. That is
a winner's circle.
Again, thanks for joining us on this terrific Terry Tuesday. Looking forward to sharing tomorrow with you as well for Horseshoe Indianapolis. Have a great day.